What is going on, everybody? It's Jamie and welcome to the channel Thrift-Onfire. Today's gonna be a video one in a new challenge series, $5 into $5,000. So essentially the first item you see me pick up, I think it's technically a little bit more than $5, like $5.49. We're gonna take that money, flip it into a new item, and we're gonna keep flipping it over and over and over until we hit $5,000. Okay, this is obviously going to take place over multiple videos. This is just video one, so like video one in the series essentially, and I think it takes place over the last month. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is here. So let's flip some stuff, let's make some money, and let's have some fun. Let's get into this one. All right, so here's the first item we're going to use for the challenge. You can see this golf bag here. It is a Hyperlight 3 Callaway. You can see I picked it up today at Goodwill for $5.49. So we're starting off the challenge in the hole, $5.49. I think based off of eBay comps, it's worth like $60 to $80 on eBay used. The one I was comping it against had like some stains and some other issues. This one, the only issue with it that I can find so far is the zipper pull is missing, but on these ones it's just a piece of material for the zipper pull. There's no stains and this is in pretty good shape. I'm gonna try to get this on Facebook Marketplace today. I'll throw my listing, try to not drop this, I'll throw my listing up so you can see what I listed it for. I'm guessing around 50 bucks. That's what I'm going to try to get it to, and then after that we'll sell it and we'll catch back up and we'll flip the $50 into a new item.
2 weeks later.
All right, so it's a couple weeks later and I have a really good update. I was able to sell the golf bag for $70 Canadian on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, it took me about 2 weeks to sell it. First week I listed it there. I had lots of action, people asking me questions, but everybody was too far away. Like I'm going to say an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Week two, I decided to throw a companion listing up on eBay, $80 US for this. I figured, you know, even with offers, I was still trying to hit around the $50 Canadian at the end of the day after fees and everything. But somebody did come back on Marketplace and offer me the $70 I listed it for. So we did sell that. So that was excellent. Now I had to like look for a way to invest this money. Well, this morning I was looking on Yard Sale Treasure Map, which is sometimes I'll look on the weekends to see if there's estate sales or yard sales in my area. And it's actually a really handy tool. It's just an app you can download from the App Store, not sponsored or anything. I'm just letting you know that I use this. So I had somebody who had like, it was a garage sale, but it was really like, it was an antique booth vendor potentially, or maybe just somebody who's collected a long time, and they had said, you know, come to my sale this Friday and Saturday if there's still some stuff left. And in the photos I seen a Marantz amp, and I thought, well, I don't want these speakers, but if I could go there and pick up the amp for 70 bucks, that would be excellent. So I did go there. I wound up offering the guy $70 for just the amp. He said, I really want to sell this whole thing complete for $200. And I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate it. I'm really just looking for this amp. So I thought that was the end of it. And then he came back with, well, what about $90 for just the amp? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to buy this to sell it. So 70 bucks. I was trying not to insult you with a super low offer, but that's more than I want to pay, honestly. I walked around for a couple minutes and then he came back over and said, you know what? That's fine. 70 bucks. So I did buy it for $70. It is right here. It is this Marantz, model 1550. I did not look it up. I just knew that these amps could probably get me a couple $100 anyway, and it would be good for this challenge if I could get it cheap enough. Obviously that sort of like takes our $70 off of the table. So now we're in the minus again. I think we're minus, I wrote it down here. We're minus what we paid for the golf bag, $5.49. But the good news is this amp, the last one I can see that sold in similar conditions, sold for about $550 USD. The conversion to Canadian right now is about $765. If I get anywhere near that, I will be thrilled. And yeah, we'll get this guy listed on eBay and I'll update you when it sells. All right, it's about 1 week later and I did get an offer on this Marantz amp. Okay, so I had it listed for $550 USD. Got an offer for $489, which is $61 off of the price I'm asking for this guy right here. I'm also charging $30 for shipping, 30 USD, which is about 41 Canadian. I think I can ship this out for under $30. And the extra is to cover things like, you know, boxes, bubble wrap, packing paper. I've got some styrofoam I'm probably going to use to pack this thing up. So when you look at that, it looks like that winds up being about $677 Canadian and 83 cents. Once we remove fees and all that other stuff, That number now winds up being about $581 in change. Once we remove shipping and all that stuff from there, I figure we're going to be sitting around $550 in profits, okay? Which is pretty good considering we started this off with, you know, a $5 and change golf bag, and I've flipped it already into $550. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to get this shipped out. You know, I don't expect to have any snags in the shipping. I'm going to wait for it to get there and the person receive it and probably leave positive feedback, or at least not instantly open up something. There's nothing wrong with this thing. It's in perfect condition, but you never know. We just have to get to the point where we know this money is free and clear, and then I can decide what I want to flip this $550 in. So you'll see this obviously right away in the video, but just know there's probably a good 5 days between now and whenever I decide to buy something else. It might take longer for me to figure out what we're going to spend the money on, but either way, I think we're doing pretty good so far. Good news, the receiver was delivered. It looks like we're in the clear. The money is now free to spend. So we're going to spend $225 of it today. I was looking for a video game lot, mostly because I know video games can flip quickly, especially, you know, if we take pre-existing bundles and bundle them on eBay, as we're going to get more money. So somebody had a Super Nintendo for sale, close to $300 with a bunch of games. I talked him down to $225. It took a while to figure out when we could meet up. We both had conflicting schedules, which was a bit frustrating, but it's going to work out. I'm going to go pick it up right now. $225. I think I can bundle the console with a couple of the better games together and just get my money back easily that way. And then I'm going to have all these other games to make money on or make a bigger bundle. We'll have to go through all this stuff and see where it is for value. I do know there's enough here that we're going to easily probably double up our money. That's my guess, or that's what I'm hoping for, you know, which obviously will help us in the challenge. We still have money in the bank too. We're only spending, you know, a portion of the money we have. So that's good. Let me go grab this stuff. I'm going to bring it home, and then we can go through it and we'll have a better idea of what's actually here. All right. So you can see it's a little bit dirty, but not yellowed, which a lot of the ones I've had in the past are very yellowed. A bunch of controllers, whole bunch of games in there, different titles. So I'll most likely go inside, clean these up, make some lots, get them listed online, and that'll give you an update of what I think I can get for all this stuff. I think I paid up for it, but I'll still be able to make a good amount of profit to go towards the challenge. All right, so we sold a bunch of this Nintendo stuff. There's going to be a lot of numbers getting thrown out right now. So, you know, I'll do my best to be as clear as possible about, you know, money in, money out. So Donkey Kong sold for $19.99 USD. All these sales were on ebay.com in USD, okay? Super Nintendo controller sold for $16.99 USD plus shipping. Sim City for Super Nintendo, $14. A broken controller I sold by itself for $9 plus shipping. Aladdin, $16 USD plus shipping as well. Super Bass, which is a fishing game, sold for $9.99 USD. And then we sold a lot that was the console, 2 games. It was Mario Kart, and I believe another Mario game. I just can't think of what it is at the second. And 2 controllers. That sold for $213.75 USD. So now if we convert that, if we take all those sales, okay, $298.97. In Canadian, that winds up being $414.31, okay? Roughly the fees on this would have been about $55.93. That's the fees on everything, eBay fees. So when we remove that, it leaves us with $337 and I think 2 cents. We're going to just axe the 2 cents out. So $337. That gives us, you know, if we add that to the $325 we already have, that gives us $662. Okay, so the Nintendo stuff, it's a lot of work to get basically $112. You know, return on that is obviously much easier to buy that receiver and flip it for a lot of money. Those things don't come around too often. And I still have 2 lots of games. I think a $30 lot US and another $30 lot US games that can sell from this Nintendo bundle. But that does it, like I said, that sits us at about $662. You know, and I'm pretty happy with that. We've only been into this about a month at this point. Now going forward, I believe I'm in a pretty good spot. I've got $662 to spend. I'm just entering garage sale season. I should be able to find some really good items that I can flip either locally, you know, like the golf bag, or online like that receiver, and really amp up this challenge. So hopefully in the next video, we break the $1,000 mark. That is the goal. And yeah, we're going to just keep flipping and flipping and flipping until we hit $5,000. If you guys do like videos like this one, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content, and we'll see you guys soon.